So I'm 25, no girlfriend, it's the 80s, and I'm looking at another Saturday night sitting at home watching The Golden Girls. And it's the one where the B. Arthur character is worried about a growth on her foot. Maybe some of you remember that one. And I had this horrible realization that these old ladies on The Golden Girls are more sexually active than I am. And I'm thinking, I got to get out there and do something. So I look at the city paper, and there's this ad that was placed for something going on that night by this organization called Men Against Sexist Violence. And they were sponsoring this anti-pornography workshop in conjunction with this other group called DC Feminist Alliance, and there'd be a party afterwards. So I'm thinking, you know, this could be good. You know, I'll go to this party, I'll go to the workshop, I'll go to the party, I'll meet this really cool member of the DC Feminist Alliance, and we could talk about the patriarchy, the objectification of women, and who knows where that could lead. So I go. I walk in, and there's maybe 8 dudes sort of milling around, and I'm like, okay, this must be the Men Against Sexist Violence. Where are the DC Feminist Alliance? And I find out that they're having a separate party or a separate workshop downstairs, and then after the workshops, they'll come upstairs for this party. And I look over, and there's this table with a bunch of chocolate chip cookies, and they're the good ones, you know, the asymmetrical cookies with the big chips. So I'm thinking, cool. So the leader of the workshop comes out. His name is Mitch. He's kind of this grandiose guy, and he makes us all these guys. We are all sitting around in a circle, and he starts talking to us about how he hates pornography. It makes him really angry, and then he wants us to go around the circle, and each person has to talk about their feelings about pornography. So everybody's saying what they think he wants to hear, which is that they hate pornography, and it makes them really angry, and I say that. And they get to one guy, and he goes, you know, I got to be honest, sometimes I look at pornography, and I kind of like it. And then he starts crying a little bit, like these tears of shame. And Mitch says, you know, we're going to do this experiential exercise next that's going to help you deal with your feelings about pornography. So he passes out to us these pornographic pictures. Each person gets one. And we're instructed to study the picture, and then the group will pose each of us in the position of the woman in the picture. So first up is this poor guy who had cried a little bit because he likes pornography. And he's pretending to be this naked woman lying on a couch. And we're supposed to pose him verbally. And so, you know, all these guys at this workshop, they're these kind of really nice, nerdy guys, you know, the kind of guys you would expect to be at a workshop, anti-pornography workshop on Saturday night. And so they're all saying, oh, you might want to move your arm up a few inches, or please tilt your head of 25 degrees. And Mitch says, no, that's not how you do it. I want him to feel the objectification, feel the degradation. And he goes, you know, move your arm, bitch, you know, tilt your head, whore. And I'm thinking, I just got to get to this party afterwards. So we go through a few more, and then it's my turn. And the woman in my picture is lying on the shag rug, and her legs are like way up behind her head. She must have been a gymnast or something. I'm like, how am I going to do this? So I just want to say I was not then, nor am I now, the most limber guy in the world. So I lift my legs up maybe a 20th of the way, and Mitch is going, you know, higher, you bitch, higher, and my legs are twitching. And I'm thinking, well, if nothing else, this will be a really good conversation starter with the women of the DC Feminist Alliance at this party. So finally, it's over mercifully, and Mitch leaves to go get the DC Feminist Alliance. And he's down there kind of a long time, and he comes back alone. He looks kind of shaken. And he says to us, I've just been down in the room where they had their workshop, and there's a lot of anger in that room. And they want to have the party, but they want all you guys to leave immediately. So we file out into the night, and I get home too late to see the doctor remove the growth from B. Arthur's foot. But the good news is, it was benign. Thank you.